Hello everyone and welcome back to Grade 12 Law. By now you should have completed your Getting to Know You letter sent to me through the assignment tab and your discussion post on Two Truths and a Lie so that your peers can get to know you as well. So I'm just going to do a little video on the second assignment in Getting to Know You, on the Jung and You. So this assignment is focused on a personality quiz designed by Carl Jung and supported by Isabella Briggs-Meyer. Both of these two scientists are well respected within the social sciences communities, and their testing are used worldwide. So I'm sure you've taken many quizzes in the past, but these ones are definitely well supported, go a little bit more in depth, and at the end of it you will be provided with a 4-letter personality type, and essentially each personality is broken down into 4 categories, and they see if you lean to one side or the other in each of the categories, and that's where the letters come from. So what you're going to do is go to the Jung typology quiz link here, and I have it already open. And you're going to go through and you're going to answer the questions. If there is something that you do not understand, it's really important that you use some of your learning strategies and go find out. So if you're not quite understanding what, let's see. What is one in here that we're talking about? What a rational approach means. It's really important that you go find out before you answer that question. Okay, so you go through, you answer the questions, make sure you really understand them, and then you're going to go here and you're going to score it. And in the content page, it does show you a little blurb of this, but this is where it brings you, and it tells you what your personality is. So I am an ISFP, and that means that I am slightly more introvert, very little bit sensing over top of intuition, strongly feeling versus thinking, and just slightly more perceiving over judging. And this whole assignment is going to break that down for you. So if you don't understand it yet, don't worry about that. But the goal here is to get to know you. So the more work you do here, the more you dig deep here, it's all for you. It's not for me. Okay, so in this activity, I'm just going to slide back here. I created a checklist for you. So it is in a Google Doc. I do prefer that your assignments are completed in a Google Doc just because it's easier to transfer back and forth. It's also easier for you to keep track of those activities and assignments. So I created a checklist here, and this one is blank, and it is for you to go through. So it has each of the tasks as you go through, plus a little bit of a hint if you need some help. All of the gray area is just a title, and the blank space here is for you to type in if you like. If you want to complete it in a separate document, feel free to do that. Just make sure that you use this checklist to ensure your work is complete when you're done. That is wonderful transferable skill, using a checklist and reviewing your work before submitting. So let's have a look at my completed chart. All right, so I did task 1. I completed the typology quiz and I hit score it, as you saw back here. From there, I took a little snip, and there is a video in the content talking about how to take a snip of that, so that I knew what my personality was and what my percentages were. So use your critical thinking skills to explain your results in the 4 categories. So introversion versus extroversion, intuition over sensing, feeling over thinking, and perceiving over judging. And I used this little chart here to help me make sense of mine. So for me, in my introversion, I take a little bit more energy from myself than from the world. So this could be in terms of motivation or in terms of centering my focus. So I'm not too strong on the self-focus, just a little bit at 6%, but it is there. All right, for intuition, I am 12%, so again, that's just slightly off to one side. And this is, again, that I'm trusting more information that I receive internally than I do from the external world. So I'm trusting my own understanding and knowledge as opposed to just being told. In terms of feeling, I am moderate at 47%. So I'm making decisions based on how I feel, not what logic is telling me I must do. So that's where the two weigh out there. So my world has a lot of grays. It's not just black and white. In terms of perceiving over judging, it's marginal or has no influence. It's only about 3%, so I sit on the fence on either side. You can see that I went down here onto the second page. So sometimes I improvise and sometimes I make plans and stick to them. I'm just kind of a mix mash of the two of them. So that's what I want you to do for task 2. Take your percentages, take your letters in each category. You can use this chart like I did and explain what those things mean. It's important that you take your time here so that you understand who you are or who it is categorized you as. For task number 3, you're going to click on the type description. So if I go back here to my results, this is the first page, and I click on type description, it gives me all of these wonderful, beautiful, lovely things that are in here. And essentially what we want to look at here is finding something in there that speaks to you. So I've asked you for 2 examples. So 2 examples and connect how it's true for you. So for me, I found this quote that says, "Never seem to lose their sense of wonder." And I connected this to maybe my interest in science fiction. So wondering about what could be the possibilities that are out there in the vast, vast universe really, really speaks to me. So how science fiction and that phrase, "never seem to lose their sense of wonder," are connected, is that I'm always in awe of how this all works. And then, sorry, my something shiny personality, I ran through this random thought on flat earthers. I don't agree. Sorry, I just don't. Which led me to remember a lovely video from J.P. Sears in the Ultra Spiritual on flat earth theory. It just, J.P. Sears really, really makes me laugh. So just one of those things on a side note. But on the side note, I was able to connect my thought back. So in his video, he really has a gift for taking technical information and putting it into layman's terms. And so I actually found that in my description back here. And that really spoke to me as well. So hopefully I have this skill in teaching. It comes in handy, and I think as students, you really need that ability for me to break down some information and send it to you in a way that is understanding. And then I gave an example with my math in university. Okay, for task number 4, you're going to click on career choices. So up here, there's career choices. And it gave me a whole bunch here, and I just want you to select 2 and connect why you think that is a good career based on the personality that they gave you. So for me, they gave me education, surprise, surprise. But I think it's because I like learning, and I like being able to describe or share my learning with other people. Number 2, psychology. I found this really funny because I actually was interested in social work as well before I went into education. So I think I really like this concept of triumphing good over evil and really getting into helping people batter their inner demons. So I thought that that was a good fit for the personality. Okay, number 5, learning style. So again, that's just a little tab here down the side. So this is kind of really lovely thing. They gave you this wonderful examples and all sorts of details within here, but the beautiful thing about this category is if you scroll down, they give you an exactly what's good for you and what may not help you out at all. So I just took a little snip of that, and I'd like you to find at least 2 examples from this section and describe how you will use this information to help you in this online course. So try not to do it fluff, right? This is here to help you. So I really like you to dig deep and think about how these type of things will help you in this online course. So for me, studying left to the last minute can be stressful. I used to think that I thought better under pressure, but that's just not true. It's just trying to find an excuse for my procrastination. So once I kind of got myself organized and under control and learned a little bit more about how I learned, I found that my stress levels really greatly improved if I didn't leave things to the last minute. And that leads into my second point. So material is delivered at a moderate pace. I hate being rushed. I do not like being under pressure at all. And so it's really nice to be able to, in an online course, take your time in certain places. So rather than a 75-minute period, if you're really struggling with a piece of content, you can get up, go for a walk, have something to eat, come back to it later, or even come back to it the next day after you've had some time to think of it. I was hoping to connect some Joe Bowler information to us, but I think with the robustness of this course, I'll probably end up just giving you a little bit of highlights. And in this case, Joe Bowler is a mathematician and scientist who works with Stanford University, and essentially says that the minute we put time constraints on any type of learning, that parts of our brain actually close down. So we're actually hindering our ability to learn by putting on a time constraint. Okay, number 6 is under communication. So this is much like the learning skills or learning style one. So communication skills, they have lots of juicy information in here, but if you scroll down, you get these lovely bullet points that say what's good for you and what isn't going to work. So under communication skills, again, I want 2 examples, and I'd really like you to explain the connection. So for me, in terms of communication, I need ample time to ponder the topic. I didn't like in school where they asked you a question, you had to respond immediately. I needed time to think about what my response was going to be. Even now, I kind of pull back when I'm working on something, and I'm not really ready to put anything down on paper or talk about it until I've had some time to think deeply. And again, I think that comes in line with some of the brain science I've studied, that time constraints actually closes off portions of your brain. My second example is the matter of discussion requires fast and active action. So I guess I just talked about that up there, but I hated being on the spot. So anxiety for me is if they were asking me to answer right away. Again, this is a good piece if your personality sits here, because in the online course you can take your time and think about it before responding. So that is the Jung and You activity. Please take the time to go through it. It really is for you, and I look forward to learning more about you.